Look at the zodiac you know today. A circle of signs, reduced to daily horoscopes and personality clichés. But imagine it as a cracked mirror. It reflects something familiar, yet the true image lies broken behind the surface. What if the zodiac we inherited is only a fragment of a much greater code, one that was never meant to be entertainment, but initiation? Hermes Trismegistus once declared, "The stars in the heavens sing a law, but only the wise know how to hear it." And among the wisest of them all was Thoth, the scribe of the gods, the keeper of celestial mathematics, the guardian who encoded divine law into symbol. What we call astrology, he called harmony, the secret music of the cosmos written into 12 archetypal gates. Here lies the mystery. Ancient texts whisper that Thoth left a prophecy, hidden not in fortune-telling, but in a zodiac that spoke directly to the soul. A map of power, destiny, and awakening. A code meant to be rediscovered when humanity was ready to rise again. In this video, we will decode that prophecy, not the zodiac of magazines and predictions, but the zodiac of Thoth. A spiritual architecture of 12 keys, 12 portals, 12 steps of awakening. And stay with me until the end, because there is one revelation buried in this prophecy that will forever change the way you look at your own sign. Thoth was not merely a god in Egyptian myth. He was the architect of wisdom, the scribe of the gods, the guardian of celestial mathematics. Every culture gave him a different name: Hermes, Mercury, the messenger. But in each, his role was the same: to translate the infinite into symbols the human mind could hold. In temple walls and sacred texts, Thoth is shown holding a reed and tablet, writing the language of the gods. But what he inscribed was not poetry, it was geometry, vibration, and cosmic law. He codified the cycles of the stars, not to predict human moods, but to show the architecture of the soul's journey through the cosmos. To the initiates, Thoth was not just a figure to be worshipped, but a teacher to be followed. They saw him as the revealer of the mathematics of spirit, where each sign was more than a constellation. It was a station of initiation. Every star became a number, carrying a secret equation. Every planet was a note, vibrating in harmony with unseen laws. The 12 signs were not personality boxes, but gateways through which the soul would pass, each demanding transformation before allowing the traveler to ascend further. And this is where modern astrology drifts away. What once carried the gravity of prophecy has been diluted into forecasts of luck, love, and fortune. What once required initiation and silence in temples is now skimmed on glossy pages and daily feeds. The zodiac lost its teeth as prophecy and became a toy of entertainment. But to Thoth, it was never a diversion. It was the staircase of return, the celestial ladder inscribed in the heavens to remind humanity of its origin and its destiny. So the question arises, if Thoth encoded the cosmos as a path of initiation, what did he hide in the 12 signs that we are failing to see? What we call the zodiac today is only a shadow of its true form, a simplified reflection of a code that was once sacred. The common version divides humanity into personality traits, quick predictions, and surface-level archetypes. But in the Hermetic tradition, the zodiac was never meant to describe what you are on the surface. It was designed to reveal what you must become. Imagine 12 immense gateways carved into the fabric of the cosmos. Each sign is not a label, but a portal, an energetic threshold that aligns with a chamber of the soul. Passing through one does not flatter your ego, it tests you. Aries, for example, was not the impulsive one, but the initiator, the fire that awakens will. Libra was not the balanced one, but the judge, the one who measures truth against illusion. Each archetype was a key designed to unlock a higher state of being. To the ancients, these archetypes were not abstract. They were lived. The zodiac was seen as a wheel of initiation, where each station of the sky corresponded to a trial, a virtue, or a challenge the soul would inevitably encounter. You did not choose whether to face them. You only chose whether to awaken through them consciously or repeat them unconsciously. This deeper zodiac was encoded in myth, temple art, and initiation rites. The 12 were not simply constellations, they were 12 pillars of transformation, mirroring the stages of alchemy and the laws of Hermetic wisdom. To misinterpret them as personality traits was to confuse the temple map with the tourist's guide. So the hidden question is this: if the zodiac is not about who you are, but about what your soul must become, then how many of us are still standing at the first gate, mistaking the symbol for the path? If each sign is a portal, then each carries not just description, but initiation. Thoth's zodiac was not written to tell you who you are. It was designed to show you which key you must hold, which trial you must face, and which treasure of the soul you must awaken. Aries is not mere impulsiveness. It is the initiator of will, the fire that awakens courage to begin. Its trial is learning that true power is not in explosion, but in direction, to harness flame as purpose. Taurus is not stubbornness. It is the guardian of the temple, the force that grounds spirit into matter. Its shadow is possession, clinging to what must flow. Its key is sacred stewardship, protecting what is truly eternal. Gemini is not duality for its own sake. It is the messenger of the two worlds, the voice that bridges opposites and translates spirit into word. Its trial is discernment, to separate signal from noise, truth from illusion. Cancer is not sentimentality. It is the keeper of inner waters, the womb of memory, intuition, and feeling. Its test is to nurture without clinging, to protect without imprisoning. Leo is not vanity. It is the solar heart, the guardian of divine fire within. To pass through its gate is to radiate essence without distortion, to recognize the spark of divinity in yourself and others. Pride is its shadow. Heart-centered sovereignty is its key. Virgo is not nitpicking. It is the purifier, the alchemist who refines the vessel so light may enter. Its task is to turn analysis into service, discipline into devotion, detail into doorway. Libra is not indecision. It is the judge of truth, the one who weighs illusion against justice. Its trial is to harmonize without compromise, to balance without losing clarity, to bring beauty into alignment with truth. Scorpio is not just passion. It is the alchemist of death and rebirth, the one who dares to descend into shadow, burn impurities in fire, and emerge remade in power. Sagittarius is not mere wanderlust. It is the seeker of horizons, the arrow aimed at the infinite. Its trial is to expand without dispersing, to wander without forgetting the center, to turn freedom into vision. Capricorn is not cold ambition. It is the keeper of the mountain, the climber who turns discipline into mastery. Its initiation is patience, endurance, and the revelation that the summit unites matter with spirit. Aquarius is not rebellion for its own sake. It is the bearer of the waters of the future, the one who pours vision into the collective. Its trial is to free without severing, to innovate without losing the thread of soul. Pisces is not confusion. It is the bridge to the collective ocean, where the self dissolves into the all. Its test is to merge without drowning, to love without erasing the self, to sense the hidden net that binds every being. Every sign in this hidden system is a cipher, a chamber where the soul encounters both its shadow and its light. This is why the ancients treated the zodiac with reverence. To them, the 12 signs were 12 cosmic tests, not tools of prediction, but steps on the soul's ascent. To trivialize them into stereotypes is to miss the prophecy entirely, because the message was never about fate, it was about transformation. So what prophecy did Thoth weave into these signs? And why did he insist they would be rediscovered only in specific moments of history? Ancient Hermetic texts whisper of a secret prophecy, one that Thoth inscribed not in plain words, but in symbols scattered across temples, stars, and myths. It was not the kind of prophecy that predicts events. It was a warning and a promise that humanity would one day forget the sacred map of the Zodiac, and that, in forgetting, it would lose sight of its own soul. Thoth's prophecy spoke of cycles, ages when the signs would be reduced to entertainment, their keys hidden beneath trivial forecasts, ages when the collective would walk in darkness, mistaking fate for destiny, distraction for wisdom. But he also spoke of a turning, a time when the deeper archetypes would reawaken, when the 12 gates would once again call humanity back to initiation. Some say we are living in that very moment, a world disoriented, identities fractured, meaning dissolved. And yet, beneath the noise, a quiet hunger stirs. People search not for horoscopes, but for truth, not for predictions, but for pathways. The prophecy of Thoth seems less like myth and more like a mirror of our present. Imagine the Zodiac not as a wheel of fortune, but as a clock of awakening. At certain hours in the cosmic cycle, specific archetypes are activated. They rise not to control us, but to remind us. The lion to awaken courage, the scorpion to demand transformation, the water bearer to call for renewal of the collective. Each sign is a bell rung at the appointed hour, not to bind the soul, but to summon it higher. So the question is this: if Thoth's prophecy has begun to unfold, then which of the 12 gates is calling you now? And will you walk through it consciously, or repeat its lesson until you do? The Zodiac, in Thoth's prophecy, was never a chart of personality. It was a map of the soul's pilgrimage. Each sign was not a label you were born under, but a stage of initiation you would inevitably walk through in the journey toward wholeness. Picture the soul as a traveler entering a vast cosmic temple with 12 gates. Each gate demands a passage, a trial, a transformation. Aries ignites will. Scorpio demands death and rebirth. Pisces dissolves the self into the all. To move through the Zodiac was not to collect traits, but to ascend, from fire to earth, from air to water, from matter back into spirit. Every planetary transit, every cycle of time, was seen as an initiation. To the ancients, these were not influences, but summons. A retrograde was not bad luck. It was a call to revisit an unresolved trial. A conjunction was not chance. It was a convergence of archetypes forcing evolution. The stars did not dictate your fate. They reflected the curriculum of your soul. This is why the ancients spoke of destiny, not fortune. Fate was repetition, the loop of unconscious cycles. Destiny was ascent, the conscious decision to walk through each sign as a rite of passage. The Zodiac was not a prison, but a staircase, one where every step, no matter how painful, was designed to awaken power, clarity, and remembrance. So the question is not, what sign am I, but rather, where am I on the path of the 12 gates? Which initiation is the soul demanding of me now? For Thoth, the Zodiac was never isolated. It was a web of correspondences, each sign linked to a law of the universe, an element of creation, a planet carrying its echo. To study one without the others was like trying to read a single letter and call it a book. Aries, for example, was not only the flame of initiation, it was the embodiment of the principle of mentalism, the recognition that every act of creation begins in thought, and that willpower is the first spark of reality. Aquarius, centuries later in the wheel, mirrored the law of vibration, the water bearer pouring frequencies into the collective, a reminder that all form is born of resonance. Every sign, in this deeper map, was a node in a living equation. Earth signs guarded the mysteries of manifestation, teaching how spirit crystallizes into matter. Air signs carried the codes of communication and idea, the bridges between worlds. Fire signs revealed the principles of ignition and transformation, while water signs taught dissolution, memory, and rebirth. Together, they formed a balanced circuit, the very architecture of the cosmos mirrored in human life. The planets, too, were not just spheres in orbit but archetypal teachers. Mars embodied drive and struggle, Venus encoded harmony and attraction. Saturn carried the weight of time and law. When aligned with the signs, these planetary forces activated specific lessons, pressing the soul to learn what could not be avoided. This was Thoth's genius, to weave the stars, the laws, the elements, and the soul into a single code. The zodiac was not astrology as we know it. It was Hermetic mathematics, the precise harmonics of the universe written into symbols, waiting for those who could see beyond personality. Which raises the deeper question: if every sign is a correspondence, then what larger destiny is this entire wheel pointing us toward? Why would Thoth hide a prophecy in the zodiac if it were only about stars? Because it was never about the stars. It was about us, and the age we now find ourselves in. Look around. Humanity faces a crisis of meaning. Old systems fracture, identities dissolve, and the collective drifts between chaos and awakening. Popular astrology thrives in this confusion, offering daily predictions as comfort. But the deeper prophecy whispers something else. This moment is the very hour when the 12 gates are reactivating, demanding humanity to remember the original code. Thoth's prophecy foresaw an age when the zodiac would be mocked, simplified, stripped of its sacred depth. Yet he also foresaw its return, the archetypes awakening as collective mirrors, calling individuals and nations alike to face their initiations. The lion demands courage and leadership. The scorpion demands collective death and rebirth. The water-bearer pours out visions of new systems, shaking the old. We are already living the prophecy. This is why so many feel restless, as if they were born for something they cannot yet name. Because the zodiac is not just a calendar of stars, it is a calendar of the soul, and its hour has struck again. What was once hidden in temples is surfacing in conversations, art, science, and even the quiet ache of personal transformation. The question is not whether the prophecy is unfolding. The question is whether we are awake enough to walk through its gates consciously, or whether we will be dragged through them by the tide of necessity. If Thoth's prophecy was not prediction but instruction, then the zodiac is not a wheel of fate. It is a training ground. Each sign is not a sentence, but a chamber. Not a label, but a lesson. The ancients saw the 12 not as categories of personality, but as rooms of initiation, each preparing the soul for the next ascent. Imagine the zodiac as a cosmic staircase of 12 steps. On each step, you are stripped of an illusion and offered a key. Aries teaches you to ignite will. Scorpio demands you surrender to death and rebirth. Pisces dissolves your edges so you can glimpse the ocean of the all. With each ascent, the soul is refined, not by chance, but by practice, trial, and awakening. This is why Thoth's prophecy matters now. The 12 signs were never meant to tell you who to love or what job to take. They were blueprints for soul alchemy. To meditate on them is to rehearse your transformations. To embody them is to accelerate destiny. To ignore them is to wander in cycles, repeating the same lessons until recognition forces evolution. The zodiac of Thoth did not predict the future, the adepts whispered. It trained creators of future. Each archetype is a guidepost in the laboratory of life. Each season is an invitation to experiment with the frequencies of courage, balance, sacrifice, unity. The stars overhead are not controlling you. They are reminding you. The prophecy of Thoth is not about what the signs say about you. It is about what they awaken in you. They were never a mirror of fate. They were a map of freedom. The freedom to walk the path of initiation consciously, to craft your soul as deliberately as the gods crafted the heavens. What you have heard today is not the zodiac of newspapers and fortune columns. It is the zodiac Thoth inscribed in prophecy. Not a wheel of fate, but a wheel of initiation. A mirror of the soul's ascent, hidden in plain sight for those who dared to look deeper. The popular zodiac is a distraction, a cracked mirror reflecting fragments. But the true zodiac is a living code. Each sign is a portal, each archetype a key, each trial a step on the staircase of awakening. It was never about prediction. It was always about transformation. So the next time you ask, "What is my sign?" shift the question. Ask instead, "Which gate am I standing before? Which trial is my soul demanding of me now?" Because the prophecy of Thoth was not that the stars would rule you, but that they would remind you of the godlike spark within you. The prophecy is alive. The gates are open. The Zodiac has returned, not to entertain, but to awaken. Will you walk through it consciously, or keep circling in shadows, mistaking the symbol for the path? And if you are ready to keep decoding these ancient truths, to walk deeper into the mysteries, the hidden laws, the maps left for this age, then step into this circle fully. Subscribe to Infinity Echoes, activate the bell, and together, let us continue unveiling the codes of the cosmos until the prophecy is fulfilled within us.